Hey, so I know it has been forever since I done been back to y'all, but that's for a many reasons. If you're really watching the channel, you'll see that I finally relaunched the podcast, Hood Health Report. Episode 1 is up. We've recorded another one, so those will be coming to you pretty consistently. So be on the lookout for that. Catch up on that. Gonna have some great topics, great guests. And also, it just has not been given. Real Housewives of Potomac has not been given what needs to be gave. And I think 10? I think it was episode 10 when the last review I gave, and it was 20 whole episodes. Yeah, I've been busy, but yeah, I also have been so unmotivated because it's like, are they really doing this? Are they really talking about this? Did she really wait till the end of the season for this? And I can't see how the YouTubers whose main things is these shows come and talk about it every week when it starts falling off the way that it does. Tragic. More power to y'all. So this just about to be like probably be like 45-minute video, I guess. I don't know. A recap of episodes 11 through 20. So clearly it ain't like I'm gonna go step by step in every single episode. Just gonna really hit the main points. So here we go. Starting off with episode 11, the main thing I remember that stuck out for me, Karen going over to Gizelle's house, and Gizelle's house is just tackier than her closet, which is, how do you find things that tacky to put in your home? Gizelle had that little fake ceramic cake sitting up on her counter like it was real sweets. That serves no purpose. It's taking up space and it's ugly. If you ain't got real cake sitting on a cake plate, what is the point, girl? The house was Gizelle's, child. The house was Gizelle's. As mixed match as it is on the outside, it's that on the inside as well. Karen said, I like the chandelier. The chandelier was nice. Yeah, that's about it. Because that little fake ceramic cake on the counter, these gaudy colors for the living room, it was a lot. So she was coming to bring the girls some Gucci bracelets for their birthday since she missed their birthday party that Gizelle had in the last episode. They sit there and they gossip about how Mia and Jacqueline, and it's going to be skipping around because I don't remember what happened on which episode. So when I get on to something, I might just tell the whole story. So you know how these go. So they talk about Mia and Jacqueline with their failed plan of trying to create a buzz and be the it girls of the season and falling out of friendship in the process. It's like we can see what they was doing from a mile away. Like, let's create this mystery. We don't really say something did or didn't happen. We just, leave it real open. Leave it real open for people to think the most salacious things. It's tired. It's played. We see through it. I hate that women gotta play on their sexuality with women to try to create a ooh, look at me moment, because Jacqueline don't look like she here for none of it. Mia looked like she liked to play or whatever. Jacqueline looked like she needed the bills paid a couple times, so she did what needed to be done, but tickling G and stuff, I don't know. I don't think they were fully lying when they were like, did you pay for her Porsche? Well, the car is in her name. I think that, it might have been some assistance when it came to things. Because I don't think for her to just come out the woodworks with this whole lie because Mia said so. I believe she embellished because Mia said so, but a whole lie about, well, you gave me the money because you love me and da 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 da. She said she love you. I ain't in this. I don't even want you sitting in the middle. I want y'all to switch places so I can sit next to my wife, actually. I don't. Yeah, they friends, but that's that for I ain't got nothing to do with this. She said, I ain't got nothing to do with this. So next we see Wendy with her beat face and her bag in the hospital, coming up out of surgery. And it was a funny moment. So when Mia said what she said at the reunion, I did chuckle a little bit. Because it was just like, okay, not this beat face and this bag perfectly positioned in the you come this way so you can, get the bag on. It just looked like and scene, like it was perfectly placed scene. So when Mia said at the reunion, oh, your opportunistic husband, videoing you while you're in the hospital, and Wendy said, oh, you better hope your next husband, there for you when you in the hospital like mine is. You better hope so, girl. G out here doing this, that, and the third, running businesses allegedly. Girl. Then Ashley's done behind with this house hunting tour. So I guess we'll just go ahead and take our deep dive on Ashley, because I always knew it was weird, because I know at one point she had redid the prenup because they was about to break up and she had moved out. They redid the prenup. My understanding was that she would get half of what he made when they was together from, the prenup secured that if she proved she was loyal with the year amount of kids or whatever, how it goes. Sounds like Ashley thought that she was getting half of everything, which is the dumbest thing ever, because it's like, girl, he got a whole wife and grown children, I'm sure with trust and wills and things, and all these type of beneficiaries come before you for you to have thought that you was going to get half of everything. Now, here is the part that I will admit. I usually catch most things, but I completely forgot or didn't see, or she hardly mentioned that she did not have a lawyer look over the prenup. Now, I thought she had a lawyer on the initial prenup. I didn't know she didn't have one on the initial or when she re-signed out of good faith. So you've had neither of these prenups looked at, especially after y'all almost broke up and you signing out of good faith, because it looks like a plot. It looks like a setup. Do what you gotta do. She did the kid thing like she was supposed to do. She gonna get some money somehow, some way. But yeah, that was the craziest thing ever, that she didn't have a lawyer at some point, knowing how sneaky and conniving this man could be. But I don't think Ashley has any intentions on divorcing that man. When they said they about to buy a house with the LLC in the both of their names, y'all would have to dissolve that once it comes to a divorce, right? That would be the most sense, right? So why would you buy a house in the both of y'all's name like that? If it was going to be a gift, he needed to sign over, yeah, here's my money and it's going to come out of my account, but this is a gift to her. That needs to be on paper. Everything needs to be in writing when it comes to money and legalities and things like that. So that's the wild part to me, that like, girl. So she out here looking for houses, bidding on houses. Michael ain't even telling her the whole truth about the house buying process and if they can go ahead or not. And she in the dark until she called a daggone realtor, and the realtor's like, no, girl, we can go ahead. If you want to make a bid, we can make a bid. Just all types of mess. So yeah, I knew that Ashley had no intentions of divorcing that man, because if she just let him be over there and she be over there in her big house, which the fact that he kept her in that little bitty condo with them 2 kids for all these years, then when she gonna leave and try to leave him or whatever, oh, well, I'll buy your house. if you just stay over there and do what you want to do. But I ain't finna do this divorce and I ain't doing all this mess again, girl. I get it. I don't think she should divorce him. She should go ahead and get her house paid for. He shouldn't have a key. You shouldn't have a key. It should be some type of gated community or something, because the fact that he just gonna pop up, nah, you better have a backup nanny on your end. So if you gotta do something, you leave them kids with the backup nanny, or your kids, your grown kids can watch their little brother and sister. Where they at? Where they at? Don't bring them kids back here over here to me, knowing I got me a company for the weekend. Just petty. Just petty. Because basically that's why Luke left her, is Michael popping up at the house. And they talked about that on the reunion. But yeah, just crazy. So she just gonna stay with him, keep that money for the house. Hopefully this fool got some policies out and she ain't getting no alimony. No alimony. I'm like, girl, you couldn't read that in the contract yourself, that it said that you don't get no alimony? I feel like you gotta give people electronic documents these days, and I gotta hit that control find alimony, control find child support, control find infidelity. No, is it just me or no? Don't just hand me no paper doc. Send it through the Adobe or whatever. Whatever let me control find. That's what I need you to send it through. Don't play with me. Especially if you're going to be stupid enough to not have a lawyer look at it. Girl, control find death. Control find number of kids. Okay. Control find what else? What else we got to control F out here? All of the buzzwords. Are you kidding me? So while we on the topic of prenups, let's talk about how Robin just uses Juan for arguments. So anytime he come on the show, she want to, make him yell to cause a scene, to make us be like, oh, they're giving us something. You're not. You're still not giving Robin. But it's like every time they arguing for the most part. So at this point, she wants to pressure him about a prenup and what he think about a prenup. And do he want to sign a prenup? Now that she got the money, after she lost his money, she trying to protect her money, which is crazy because, like, in the end, they did a prenup that was 50-50 with no infidelity clause, even though that's what she was worried about. But I guess we'll get there. Anywho, we also see Candace doing her video with Trina. Shout out to Candace. Like I said, she the shining star of the season. She about the only thing worth watching, to be quite honest. So shout out to Ashley. Not Ashley. Shout out to Candace. Shout out to Candace. So this episode 11, ends out with the Green-Eyed Bandits. Just gonna close out with them all together. Them in this live show, y'all. They got a venue that held 400 people. Did they even sell half of that? It was so spaced out in there. It looked like people were still social distancing, like majorly. They said they put in like $10,000 worth of venue, I guess, step and repeat, and the host who don't know how to say their name, too drunk out here to remember their name. It was just a bad show. It just didn't look good. Like, they don't seem all that entertaining. So I guess the people that's gonna go to their show know who they are and what they giving, and they like it, so cool. But it's like, they not entertaining enough to want to see live. So this next episode, episode 12, it was just two main things happened there. Karen's live show, which it cracks me up that she tries to act like she don't be biting off of everybody else. She definitely heard them say they was going to do a live show, and she figured she would do one as well, which it wasn't even the same. I ain't going to say it didn't make sense for Karen to do it, because a check is a check. And if somebody want me to host this variety show down to the thing at the Pride, I'm going to do it too. So ain't nobody hating. But girl, don't act like you not biting off of everybody, trying to beat them and get a coin, child. Doing the most, as the Grand Dame does. That's why she's Grand, because the personality there is Grand, which is why Cherise cannot be the grand dame. The bag is grand, but everything else about Cherise is just womp, womp, womp. Just underwhelming. You have too much money to look like that. How I get to Cherise? We are talking about Karen. Karen and this live show. So this variety show that she's hosting, rather, with her outfit changes. They was laughing at her outfit changes. But what did happen at this show is Deborah, the funny looking friend, is retelling the story about how the two dark-skinned girls' husbands was trying to get on to her. And it just truly cracks me up how y'all always say, oh, there's no colorism, and oh, it's not doing this, oh, they're not doing it. They literally go after the dark girls with everything that they have. Yes, they all go at each other, light skin, dark skin, against each other, across each other. Giselle will go for Karen, and Robin and Karen both say, I get it, but the beef that they got with Karen is long standing. The beef with these girls just be like, you got what I don't have. How dare you, darky? How dare you? So anywho, back to Deborah. And even what cracked me up the most is Deborah's just, yeah, so he's just leaning in and yeah, and he's like, yeah, and just playing in her hair. You just know that she thinks that she's the baddest thing walking, y'all. You can just tell that because she's light-skinned with long hair, she's been told that she's prettier than so many other girls that don't have those two things. You can tell. Even Mia kind of said it in so many words. She was like, I mean, Candace and Wendy, they're like, I put them at like 8+. You know, Deborah, I'd say she's like a 4. I mean, I like her. I mean, she's cute, but she's not cute. She's light skinned and long hair, but she ain't really cute. I mean, she can get in the club if we trying to get in as baddies for free, but once we get in there, ain't nobody really buying her drinks like that. You know what I mean? And it's just, I love Candace's reaction. Her right there. Yeah, I said her right there. The Sesame Street character. Girl, I am not even finna play with you. Y'all said he was grabbing on that booty? What booty? What did he slide down? What, he would have slipped all the way down if that's the case, because what was he grabbing on? On that one? Y'all tried it. Everybody playing in their face. Like I said, Candace just needs to be a friend of the show next season and just come and stunt. Be like, y'all coming to my concert? Yeah, I got a concert in town. Y'all come. I VIP y'all. Oh, actually, let's go to the Bahamas. How Demetria wanted her trip to go on Real Housewives. Y'all come out to my show and, you know, we gonna go to some beach. We gonna go somewhere tropical. Y'all gonna see me perform. I'm gonna do the bomb. Candace needs to do what was supposed to be done performance-wise there. The only thing that really didn't happen is they didn't get there on time. You make sure them girls get there on time. You know, recreate, what was that, Puerto Rico? Demetria and Puerto Rico. That needs to be Candace's main role. Have that little mid-season trip, that 3-4 episode anchored on Candace's trip. Other than that, Candace, let them fight and sling mud and play in the dirt while you go over here and record your albums, record your TV shows, sell out your concerts, perform on these stages, collaborate with these other artists, walk these red carpets. Do that. Do that. Have somebody call you. Talk to Wendy. Be on FaceTime with Wendy every now and again so we can see you a little bit more. But other than that, I don't even want to see Candace's main no more. I mean, as on main cast no more. She just needs to be a little friend that pop in. That's how I feel. And another thing that I guess kind of got lost in the shuffle of me looking at Deborah thinking that she was so cute that I missed was that Ashley's little crew, the PYTs, they were at Karen's spring fling party. And they, had this scene around them with Giselle on the show. And it's like they really trying to audition them. I wonder if they trying to audition them, seeing, throwing it up on the wall, seeing if it's stick type deal. Which, Ashley can pick one. I feel like, and I guess I should save this for later, but whatever, y'all hear. The show it needs to cease as we know it. They need to let all these old ladies sit to the side. Karen, go on, sit down. Cherise, please stay seated. We didn't ask for you to come back. Robin, Giselle, go on to the side. Go on. Just go. We keep Candace, like I said, in a friend capacity, just coming and stunting and go on by her day. And let the main girls be Ashley, Wendy, Mia, and let them each bring a friend on so they can have their own backup. They ain't got to question the loyalty and try to be fake, because I am tired of Wendy going so hard, kissing everybody but to try to be friends, because she ain't got nobody that's going to 10 toes down her. Like, yeah, Candace will, but Candace, if they both on the, they both the darkies in the boat that's over here. That's how they looking at them, and they not even, is Candace that dark? I don't know. I say this as a darky myself, so I can say it. It's like how gay people be saying gay slurs, N-words, say N-words. But that's how they view them. And Wendy needs the approval of the light-skinned girls, so she just does any and everything, as we saw this season, forgiving people that don't need to be forgiven, playing nice when she don't need to play nice, trying to clean stuff up. Like, no, Wendy. Each of them, the three of them, bring a friend. Boom. That's the new cast. See what shakes. Producers, holler at me. If I see y'all with this idea, I'm going to know that somebody slipped it to y'all. So, anyway, we going to see if one of these little PYTs end up sticking around. And I don't want it to be Deborah. It don't need to be somebody that's so thirsty to keep a storyline going that they just going to make stuff up. Like Mia, we already got the Mia, and we getting rid of Giselle. We only need one ridiculous person, and we really don't need that, to be honest. We really don't. But we definitely don't need more than one. So it don't need to be Deborah for Ashley, because she's too thirsty to keep a storyline going and to keep herself seen trying to get on the show. That you gonna make up him flirting. And then when it gets to the reunion, Ashley talking about, well, Deborah said that, the mouths didn't match up with the words. When on earth has production room and Real Housewives of any city edited film to make somebody not look bad when that can be a part of the storyline? If Chris was out here flirting, they would have slapped that up so quick. But the fact that he just was nowhere near interested, and you could tell they be forgetting that them cameras be strategically placed. Well, Deborah don't know because she ain't on the show. So that's why stuff like that. And Mia knew, because it's like them cameras be strategically placed when y'all is out in public, especially if it's y'all hosting a party. Oh, girl, seriously? So production pulling up Chris, not paying any attention to Deborah. Chris not looking at Mia. Chris not flirting with Deborah. Eddie, happy Eddie. It's just like, you straight out lied, and for what? So the next episode 13, they go on to Mexico for Ashley's 34th birthday. And you might as well call this the Real Housewives edition of Mexican Messy Boots, like Married to Medicine, because it was just a hot mess. So on the plane, Mia and Jacqueline, which is not filmed, I wish it had been recorded. I'm like, dang, didn't nobody pull out their phone? Giselle, as nosy as you is, Robin, ain't nobody pull out a phone and be like, just me? Okay. So anyway, they arguing before they even get to Mexico, talking about Jacqueline taking advantage with the babysitter. She always want to drop her kids off, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, girl, if the babysitter is my sister, yeah, I'm probably going to drop my kids off. And you basically my sister too. Yeah, I'm going to drop the kids off. I didn't see that as a huge deal, especially because you not watching them. So it's just like, this my sister. Like Jacqueline said, I gave you my sister for to be the babysitter. So don't get it twisted, ma'am. Everything you had is my family. So what you got now, you got to return. This is my return on investment, okay? The used bag that I secured, okay? That's what they making Jacqueline out to be. They might bring her back next season. That'll be interesting. If they bring Mia with Jacqueline back next season and we see that dynamic, especially because Jacqueline had been getting a little cool with the other girls. I think Candace and Wendy have also kind of been hanging out with Jacqueline, if I'm not mistaken. So that would be interesting to see if they bring her back next season, even if it's just a friend capacity or whatever. Although I probably wouldn't mind if they did try her out full cast, because like I said, they need to ditch these old ladies just doing nothing on our screen week after week. Tired of it. So they also get to arguing down to the dinner, child. And Jacqueline, I have never slept with your husband. It was so dramatic, especially because she ain't say nothing about her husband. But I guess she was like, y'all been insinuating. We was at the live show and y'all gonna ask me, if I'm sleeping with Gordon. And they playing a little game. Oh, you should ask Mia. Oh, have I slept with Gordon? Ask Mia. No, girl, I'm asking you. Have you slept with them? Do y'all do threesomes? She said at the beach that she ain't a good friend if her friend ain't driving around in a Porsche. So did they pay for your Porsche? The car is in her name. Jacqueline's car is in her name. That ain't answer the question. Did y'all pay for it? Is the question at hand. So all this arguing happens. Candace is like, this is a domestic situation. We need to disengage. We are not going to allow that here. This is dangerous. Like, no, ma'am. And then clearly she was right, because as Mia gets to reminiscing, she talks about how Jacqueline done threw a brick at her head before. So it's like they capable of getting there. So let's just dead in now. And they argued day one, like I said, on the plane, and day one. And honey, when I say the rest of them 3-4 days of that trip, Jacqueline was crying her face off. She had them shades on, and you could just see her just forcing it back, honey, just forcing it back, trying not to look weak. But baby, Jacqueline cried the rest of that trip. And I'm sure the girls have been running back and telling her stuff that she had been saying, and she was still feeling away from the last trip, because when Mia said, what were they? What's that? Miami. That was when they had Miami. When Mia was like, she don't bring her deodorant, she need a razor, she need this. You just gonna stink tonight, girl. You just gonna stink tonight. You ain't getting my deodorant. So it's like, yeah, she had been whirling from all of that, but Jacqueline cried the rest of that trip. I just would have went home. I wonder, was she contractually obligated? Do friends gotta do this and that? And if you going on this trip, you going on this trip. So put on them shades, hide them tears, and go to dinner, Miss Lady. And she just said, okay, you right. Next episode is Cherise versus Karen. And it's just so funny because, of course, I have all the memes whirling in my head of them saying, what's Cherise looking like? It's just crazy because, in my Whitney Houston voice, you make too much money to look like that, Cherise. The wigs just be thrown on your head. These fashions look like they just, you know, the best that Ross got to offer for 50, 60-year-old motherboard ladies. Like, why are you dressing like this? You have access to nice things. Why is this what you choose, Cherise? It's just so perplexing. They said in one episode she did have on a white button down. Of all the things to wear, you got on a white button down. They said she looked like she out there serving the drinks and the food. And did. Everybody else looking nice in their little tropical dresses, they nice colors, they straps and a little shoulder out or something. She could have did a little cold shoulder. You know the aunties love a cold shoulder, honey. No, she did. Welcome to Ryan's white button-up shirt. And it's just so upsetting that she does that. And we know that she got all this money that she got. So Cherise and Karen argue. And they basically arguing because Karen thinks that Cherise is being opportunistic. And she was being opportunistic by going to Karen's, was it the mom's funeral? By going to the funeral. She said, you know, the first time she thought about it, her auntie was like, excuse me. Her auntie was like, you know, don't think the worst. If she brings it up on the show, then you know why she did it. But if not, just leave it alone. She came there with good intentions. And she definitely brought it up on the show. It definitely seemed opportunistic. People keep saying, oh, why would somebody drive all these hours to just do this for a reason? Why not? Why wouldn't she? What else does Cherise have to do? It don't take her no time to get ready. She just plopping a wig on her head and grabbing the closest outfit she can find. These outfits are not well thought out. Of course she grabbed a driver to tell her to do this if it could boost up her morale as a person and make her look like a good person. Yeah, that's something that she would do. I can believe it. I can believe it. Especially if she is leaning on the fact that me and Karen might not be besties right now, but, you know, this might tip her over and make us friends again, so I ain't got to worry about all this extraness. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense if you thinking this might be back your friend in the end, especially how she was making it all sound on a reunion like, girl, you was still inviting me to birthdays and this and that even before we was filming, or you know, like right after we was filming, after I was on the show, after I was off. So it was like, girl, you still was having me around, so why is you acting like you just couldn't stand me? Yeah, she ain't know her. She plopped down at her table and became the it girl. So I feel like Cherise does hold a little something in her, because she's like, this girl wasn't even slated to be on the show, and now they're claiming she's the grand dame. It's giving jealousy. It's giving envy. It is. Just a little bit. What else happened? Mia assaults Wendy. Look at the CEO. It was just such a ridiculous moment. Everybody was annoying. The people in the altercation, the people watching, the people recording, everybody, the producers recording it, they was annoying in the situation too. Everybody was annoying. There's not one single person who just was chilling in that situation. But of course, the main culprits, they gaslight the mess out of Wendy, because them acting like she said something so disrespectful, so out the way, when it's literally the truth what she said. Like, girl, I'm not finna be calling no other man to check up and tell him I'm in town and tell him I'm doing that. Girl, I don't know how you and your husband play, but me and my husband don't play like that. And her husband do play like that. Me and Gordon, they do play like that. So why you getting so offended about her saying that if you've willingly volunteered stories of y'all smashing this lady here, that lady here, kind of keeping it obscure, you know, about other things. But y'all out there with it, so what you mad about it now for? So her throwing the drink on Wendy, swinging the purse on Wendy, Wendy doing all this obnoxious screaming, look at the CEO, look at the CEO. It was all ridiculous. But the fact that Robin just gonna record Wendy and not what's being done to Wendy to make Wendy look like the one that's crazy and wilding out. Is it not colorism, y'all? What is it if it's not colorism? Like, I know that's the topic later on at the reunion, but I'm gonna just go there now because it's literally what's happening. Y'all don't care for either of these girls, honestly. Y'all just deal with Mia because she kisses y'all butt. She's trying to be in the GEB and Co alliance. She's trying to be the and Co with Ashley. So she just gonna go with whatever. So okay, Mia's trying. Wendy kissing y'all butt. Well, she did. Wendy used to kiss y'all butt, but Wendy got over that mess last season, and she went for Robin's neck multiple times because when you don't even have a relationship to care about. When Robin was thinking herself on the couch, as Karen said, and out of nowhere, Robin just started thinking herself on the couch. That was so funny last season. But I get why there can be tension there, but the way the way that they just go so hard, where it's like everybody on the cast has said something about you and Juan's relationship because we see it. We saw him tell production in that closet that he didn't want to beat her. If it wasn't for the kids, he wouldn't beat her no more. We see these things. We see him nonchalantly do these scenes or act out in life with you. We see him not show up for you reunion after reunion, event after event. Other husbands are there. He's only there if he can play with Michael Darby. If he can play with Michael Darby, then he might be a little more inclined to show up to the event. And it's like with the stuff that's in the news now, predator knows predators. So is that what the link up is? Because I'm sorry, he just be way too comfortable with Michael Darby knowing the creep that he is. It's just, you know, not to say that he gotta shun the man or be mean to the man or anything like that, but it's like you genuinely enjoy this man the most of anybody in this room on this cast. Where's the similarities? Come explain them to us. What do y'all have in common? Inquiring minds want to know. That's all I'm gonna say. So the next episode was this episode 15. The highlight of this, you know, they getting ready to go. They spreading the gossip. You know, they love for one person. The game of telephone on reality Housewives is just so fun to me. Sometimes I just sit there and be like, ooh, who she finna tell first? I bet she finna tell such and such. Nah, she finna tell such and such. Ooh, nah, she finna go tell such and such. It's fun to me because we all know what's about to happen. If they have especially on a trip where they all finna go sit at the table together, we know that they finna spread this real quick because we all here and production wouldn't have it any other way. So Karen sitting there telling Ashley about Juan and his mistress that looks like me, which was like, what you mean? Like a older lady? Is she blonde? What that mean? And production with that sketch. Every time I see a sketch, this is an aside. This is such a random moment. Every time I see a sketch done like that, I always think about Leprechaun in the Hood. And if you don't know what Leprechaun in the Hood is, when you done with this video, now right now, when you done with this video and you done liking and subscribing and commenting and all of that, go look up Leprechaun in the Hood on YouTube. And was it like, no, not Leprechaun, Leprechaun in Mobile, Alabama, excuse me. Leprechaun in Mobile, Alabama, y'all. they had a sketch drawing of the leprechaun that looked like a little mushroom. It looked like a little acorn with a hat on. And it kills me because I think of that every time I see a sketch. So I saw that sketch of the woman that looks like Karen and immediately thought of that. But anywho, she tells Ashley. Ashley goes, runs off and tells Robin. Robin is like, ooh, perfect scene to get, perfect time to get a Juan yelling at me scene. Let me call him, enrage him so I can get Robin and Juan trending on this episode, okay? So let's call Juan right now, girl, right now. Calls Juan, telling him about a story about him that we had figured they already knew and talked about amongst themselves, but now, current day, we know for sure they've already discussed this. This has already been a thing. Girl, why is you calling me about you already know about? Stop playing on my phone. Get off my phone, Robin. I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with them women. All y'all need to get out my face. Juan blew up. We ain't heard Juan talk like that. Juan had like a Chris blow up, which is Then we get Karen, which I thought that Karen was lying and it was G the whole time. But Karen revealed that it was Juan that she was talking about when she talked about her husband that squeezed her so tight, her breasts went into her back. If we're going to talk about husbands making people uncomfortable, we can go there. If that's what we're doing this season, let me throw my bid in the hat, okay? That's basically what Karen did with that little tidbit of information. And then Robin was like, okay, I ain't want to do this, but look at Karen with her mitts. Look, y'all, this is Blue Eyes. This is Blue Eyes, y'all. Karen, let me see it. Nope, You see this? Y'all see? That look like Karen, right? That look like Karen? Oh, okay. That look like, that's her, right? Okay. Which, I feel like Karen absolutely has a boyfriend somewhere. And I feel like Ray knows. We talked about this at the start of the season because when they was in the nail shop, like I said, I specifically remember and caught on that she said, you said I can always, I can have a little eye candy, a little candy, right? And he says, as long as it stays candy, not eye candy, candy. Keep it on the side. Don't let that time interfere with whatever you got going on. Keep it on the side. He know what's happening. Like Mia said, Ray can't even get up the stairs fast. He can't climb the stairs fast. I know he can't climb Karen like that. So it is what it is. I wish Karen could find a good way of just saying, my man know what I'm up to, and that's my business and his. So y'all need not worry about it. Versus, doing all this extraness, girl. We know what it is. It's just, we know what it is. And this episode closes out with the young girls, which, like I said, should be the main cast. Mia, Candace, Ashley, Wendy. The young girls, they cute. That picture was too cute. They cute. They go out. They have fun. They get drunk. And they show each other their kitty cats. Which I'm like, oh, y'all a different type of drunk. Oh, okay. And in all of this, Mia tells Wendy, I want to eat your box. And Wendy probably would have let her. Because she thirsty. Mia ended up apologizing at the start of the night. She apologized and they have this little come to Jesus moment. Fake come to Jesus moment. Wendy is definitely giving, I'm going to get along to get along because ain't no point in beefing. I need allies on this show. I already got girls who coming at my neck because they want what I got. So let me just collect as many friends as I can on this show and keep it pushing. If it ain't gotta be a beef, ain't gonna be a beef. That's what Wendy gives. And it's pathetic because it's like, stand on something. Stand on it. When you say it, stand on it. Just like at the thing, I'm standing on it in my Robin voice. Just like at the thing, she in there caping for me when it comes to everybody else. But go right outside and be like, we know she lying. Da, 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 da. Yeah, hot mic situation. Oh yeah, we know she lying. Stand on what you say. If you felt like she was lying, you should have said that in the room. Not be the one sitting there caping for her. Pick a side, pick a side. You feel me? Is it Uchiwali or is it one mic? Let us know, Wendy. Let us know. So it's like, Wendy was more tolerable than her past season because at least she wasn't, I have 4 degrees and slithering around as much, but she was still like, okay, you're still finding yourself, I see, because you are all over the place. And yeah, we just gonna watch Wendy discover who, she is as a woman, wife, and mother, because she don't stand for nothing, and she trying to figure out her placement in a lot of situations in her life, apparently. So this part is a direct reflection of colorism if Giselle comes back next season. This woman sat on this screen and openly said, when they talking about rumors and stories getting spread, oh well, my version was better. Ma'am, your version can keep people hurt, locked up, divorced, in crazy situations, and you think that's something to brag about? You think it's okay that, well, when a story gets to me, I like to put a little sauce on it, as Ashley said. She just likes to put a little sauce on it. No, that's not needed. It's not needed. Why? Why put sauce on it? Why do these things? Because when this happened in Real Housewives, back in the day, we ain't seen Faye since. Okay, I know she coming back on another show that I probably will be reviewing, because even in its worst seasons, it's better than this. It's better than this. But yeah, we ain't seen Faye since. And is that not the same thing? Did she not start a rumor got spread and she put a little sauce on it? So why are we still looking at Giselle? If I see Giselle next season, y'all can't say a word about colorism does not exist in that Real Housewives of Potomac ecosystem. The bar moves so much for the light-skinned girls. It just does. If Candace or Wendy say something, it's a world war. Mia can straight up lie, make up a lie, not even piggyback and add sauce. Straight up make up a lie about you slept with this person, you did this inflammatory things, and then just be like, oh well, that's what I heard, and nothing happens. Is that what we've come to for reality TV? I get it. It's gotten so salacious and people do such crazy things now that you gotta add a little sauce to make it interesting. But that ain't the way. That ain't the way. So it's exhausting watching that type of stuff. But we know it's gonna happen. It's reality TV at the end of the day. So this episode was Robin's Bachelorette party, which was probably one of the better episodes of the last half of the season, because it looked like they was actually having fun, and outside of just like the crazy rumors and things, it's just, it was an enjoyable moment. Now, I did think it was weird how everybody, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but how it was little pockets of people dressed alike. So they sitting there at, who house was it? Whoever house it was, Mia house, waiting on everybody to get there. Giselle and two of her friends, but two of Mia's friends, all got on the same little shade of purple and the same little, little cami style dress. Then Mia and Ashley had on the exact same see-through purple green snakeskin catsuit. Mia said, she was like a garden snake and I was like an anaconda. That was just so weird to me how people was dressed alike. And it was supposed to be like sexy, whatever the theme was. And then Robin come in like she going to a dinner party. Like, girl, you are going for your bachelorette at a strip club. So they had so much fun with them strippers. Robin looked so in her element. She looked like she was having a blast. I'm like, have we ever seen Robin have that much fun? I truly don't think so. I think them strippers is the most fun we've seen Robin have in all of these seasons, y'all. For real, for real. So, going on to the conversation, Ashley just about starts crying. It's so hurt when she finds out that Michael had been seeing other people because he told her that he wasn't. And it's like, girl, he been cheating on you. Dang on, almost every year of y'all marriage, he got a scandal. Why would you think that he wouldn't be seeing people when y'all on the brink of divorce if he already been seeing people? We had the boy over in Grindr. We had the producer's butt that he grabbed. We had the casino incident. Like, girl, why wouldn't he be seeing other people? He been seeing them people. He probably still seeing them people. What is you sad about? Anywho, we get on to Cherise. Cherise was so drunk. Cherise took me a whole lobster off her plate. And I'm like, did she really take and eat that girl whole lobster off her plate? And she also starts telling these little rumors, stories, whatever you want to call it, about Karen. Which I'm like, it don't even sound believable. It just don't. Like, even if elements of it was true, all of it put together, Karen sleeping with staff at a restaurant in the bathroom? And, like, during a party? Like, Karen behind trying to have a bathroom quickie. Let's start there. That's just not believable for me. Her sleeping with the staff may well have been her little dip. I ain't denying that part. Allegedly. But Karen all behind getting cracked in a public bathroom? As rich as she is, Karen has a driver. Y'all claim she sleep with the driver. Why would she be in the car with the driver? Or at least in the back of the car while the driver, if it's the new driver, while that driver gone off, while she doing whatever with who she doing, before she's in a daggone public bathroom. So I just don't believe Cherise. It just don't sound believable. Like I said, Cherise sounds like an opportunist. Sounds like an opportunist. Even at the end, well, not the end, but on the reunion, where Andy like doubles down, like, no, we've been asking Cherise back for years. We didn't bring her back to drag dirt on Karen. It just so happens that this is what was happening when she came back. No, she came back with that agenda once she was sure that she was done with Karen. Once Karen had got on her last nerve, once Karen had dissed her for the final time, played in her face and act fake for the final time, she said, you know what? I'm going to go on this show and just commit this season to slandering her and making sure that everybody knows what type of woman Karen Huger really is. Yes, that is what happened, and nobody can convince me otherwise, especially if they had been asking her back all this time and she comes back now. Like, okay. So on the finale, it opens up with Ashley taking Dean out to eat. He mad that he can't take his shirt off, having a fit. She tells him that they finally got the house, and she's in her confessional saying that she just hoped that her kids don't blame her or be mad at her that they not together no more, that they ain't got their daddy no more, because they boys, and they were Dean too little, so he probably just want to be up under her. But Dean, he a little boy. He want to be with his daddy. So every time it's time to pick him up from his daddy, he ain't trying to go. I ain't going with you. Especially if you got that baby that you ain't even paying attention to me. I'm finna stay over here with my daddy. So she's feeling like, dang, Dean probably gonna grow up hating me because I'm taking him from his daddy like this. So that was a real moment, and it was good to see. And that's one thing I can appreciate about Ashley. Even though she'll start the mess and be all up in everybody else's business, she'll put her business out there too. It's a give and take with Ashley and her reality TV world. So that is something that I can appreciate about her that half of the other girls do not give. So, yeah. And while we're on that topic, let's get to Giselle and this hysterectomy that she waited to tell us about till the very, very, very end of the season. So my biggest problem with this was when she told her kids were so oblivious to even the female reproductive system or whatever. Like, they were just like, huh? What? How you gonna pee? What about this? They are teenagers. So in my mind, this is how I would have approached this. In the real world, I feel like somebody that gives and takes information on reality TV. Instead of accusing Chris of all this mess, your storyline this season could have very well been what's going on with you, and to deflect just a little bit from that, teaching your girls these things, or taking your girls to classes or seminars or something to show that you're human, to show that Giselle has feelings too. Giselle has a life outside of being evil. It should have been you educating your daughters on what was happening to your body so that they can know what to look out for on their bodies when they get older. It was such a missed opportunity, like I said, especially since those girls are teenagers and had so many questions about what was going on with their mama. Like, you don't sit down and eat? No? Okay. And then another thing that I took from that interaction, Giselle's girls lacked emotion. They didn't even care that their mama was gonna go have a surgery. Even if they didn't understand it. Your mama finna have a surgery, and your first reaction, y'all got jokes. And it's like, that shows you that Giselle don't show emotion around them. And they've said that to her in the past. It's not like I'm just out here assuming. They've said that to her, that they don't show her that tender side. I mean, she don't show them that tender side. So they just be like, well, okay. That's why they read her like they do. That's why they live to read their mama, because that's how their mama express herself. That's what they know. So, yeah, that was a very much missed opportunity. So the season closes out with Candace's video premiere party. Trina couldn't be there, but, video's nice, quality's nice, sound is nice, the budget's nice, everything's nice except for Candace's outfit. What was she wearing? It was just like, of all the looks, of all the things, of all the stylists, this is what you wear to your video? Okay. They can't all be winners, I guess. But, anywho, Candace did her thing this season. She showed that, she ain't gotta just be miserable and playing in the mud with y'all just because she got things to do. She's booked and busy. So, while they at this party, of course, it's the finale. We gotta have a bang. Still, I wouldn't have invited everybody. As much as they've been leaving people off the invites this season, as much as I don't like her, she can't come to the same person repeatedly, I would have left Giselle and Ashley off that guest list. Y'all would have had to find something else to be the finale if they had to be in whatever percentage of the finale, because they wouldn't have been at my video release party. It's just a no for me, honey. No. And as we see from what happened, Ashley defies, what I say defy? Ashley disregards whatever Candace said about not right now, don't go talk to my husband right now, this ain't the right moment. Brush past her to go address Chris about her friend and why about what she said, because Chris came at her on Twitter and this, that, and the third, and yah. Chris, of course, blows up because that's him and Candace's default setting, is just screaming at somebody, yelling. That's their default setting. I don't think that much of it. If they cool with it, that's cool. But that's some people's, this is how they do. They just scream. Ruin the little occasion like he usually do. One of them gonna ruin her moment. She gonna ruin it herself, or they gonna make him ruin it by incensing him to yell and scream at some daggone body. So yeah, that was the finale. Let's see, did anything else happen? No, that was really it. And so for the reunion, I'm just gonna brush past. I kind of rewatched part 1, half of part 2. The husband's part wasn't nothing memorable from the husband's really, so I didn't rewatch that. But so on to the reunion. The reunion opens up with the audio of Robin on her podcast with Giselle telling us, the public, the listening public, that, oh wait, prior to that, some girl came out and gave this information to this TikToker about how Juan paid for the hotel and they had been seeing each other. She came out there to see him. He tried to pass her to the homie. Just all this salacious stuff. She addresses it, she being Robin, on the podcast, and says she been knew about it before the season started. She was just waiting on the other people to bring it up. But when people brought up your man cheating, you had all these things to say about this, that, and the third, and that ain't true, baby. This ain't that. But it is, and you gonna admit it and talk about it after the season has wrapped on your podcast. I just want her fired. I know it's probably not gonna happen, but I really want her fired. And then the nerve of her to be like, oh, well, I'll give you all the rest of the details on the Patreon. Excuse me, ma'am? Excuse me, miss? But where's your check? It needs not be with you. Not that Real Housewives of Potomac one, because you've been on this show, supposed to tell your business, supposed to be open and honest about what's going on. But you wait to get on your podcast and tell people to pay for the content. She needs to be fired because she played in Bravo's face with that. She did. And they should feel disrespected. Production and Bravo and the creators, they should feel disrespected for what she did. And so she had the whole little sit down on Watch What Happens Live where Andy did some light interrogation. She was stirring the mess out that drink and stumbling and stammering like she didn't know what was going on, but it was just a mess. So also after the season wrapped, Robin decided that they are gonna get married. By golly, the haters been hating all season and they said she ain't gonna get married and they just playing and it's the storyline. So we gonna get married then. We gonna do the wedding. So she talks about the prenup. And the prenup is 50-50. And she did not include the infidelity clause. Because she said, well, I could be messing myself up with that. Okay, Robin. Okay. So We already talked about Ashley and the prenup for the most part, how she signed a prenup that said no alimony, no this, no that, and then he really got her messed up. So it probably did look like it was supposed to say she gets 50% of whatever he makes while they've been together. But him being the businessman that he is, whatever he made while they were together, he invested it in other businesses that don't have nothing to do with her, so he can just keep his money. So she just had somebody to look at their prenup. But anyway, she talks about the house and how Michael has a key to the house, and that weekend he dropped the kids off early when he knew that she had company and all this other stuff, and how she couldn't afford the house. It's like $14,000 a month, over $2 million. She couldn't afford the house without Michael. But at some point in the conversation, chastises Candace for not having a house in her name because she was sharing a home with her mother. I just feel like a person should have a house in their name. They should have their own house in their name by the time they're 30. Ashley, you don't have a house in your name at 30. Like, that's Michael's house. That's probably Dean's house before it's your house. Like, what? And you had to get yours from a man and thinks that makes you better than somebody that was relying on their mama money? Even if she wasn't relying on it, was utilizing the fact that her mama had the wealth to give her. The fact that she even picked an argument with Candace about home ownership while Michael is dangling the string about that house all season. The fact that it made sense in her mind to do that. Like Candace said to Giselle, you're not smart. You're not smart. You're not smart. You're not smart. You're just not, Ashley, because, girl. Then Andy, Andy reads a question, y'all. Andy said, okay, such and such from Somewheresville said, Ashley, do you remember when you called Candace the least accomplished a few years ago at the reunion? And then now you're the least accomplished. You got nothing to show for it. Da, 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 da. Ooh, that was harsh. How does that make you feel? Andy was hilarious for that. And the way he did it makes me feel like he wrote that question. Or if he didn't write it, he had the same question. He was thinking the same thing. Because, man, the fact that at any point of their tenure on this show that Ashley would call Candace the least accomplished, another situation of just the lack of self-awareness. Candace went to college, graduated, won beauty pageants, worked for the Obama administration, whatever do you mean, has a successful hair business, but she's the least accomplished? Ashley got a beauty pageant title? And what else? And what else? She started a business. She started a business while she do this. She buy some homes. Did she at least stash some of Michael's money to the side? You ain't even got an angry day account. You ain't got a mad day account. But you talking about Candace is the least accomplished? You signed a prenup that says you don't get alimony. And you don't think you the weakest link on this stage? Jacqueline is more fit for this cast than you. At least she know how to run a business. At least she know how to stand on her own 2 feet. Whether the shoes is from Mia or not, okay? She ain't got to run up and beg nobody to buy her no house. So the lack of self-awareness that Ashley holds, again, it's light-skin privilege at play. It really is, because she can afford to not know. You know what I mean? And they just let her just walk around just so willfully ignorant and just so, it's upsetting, me and my homegirls. Next up, while we're talking about, the bar moving for the light-skinned girls who lie or do these crazy things and are so easily forgiven, let's get to Mia. So Mia, just everything this season, the businesses, the houses, the thing with Mia, Peter, your husband, your lumps, girl, your best friend, your threesomes, girl, just all of the things. Mia says, I will give you content, okay? It might not be truthful, it might not be reality, but I will give you content, okay? So let's start with the businesses. On Twitter a while ago, we found out, she told us that his family, Gordon's family, had forced them out of the company, and they are left with nothing. They have been renting all these houses. She said, we had some houses in Charlotte, we had some houses in, Baltimore, we had some houses here. We're bi-coastal. Girl, that's the same coast. It's not bi-coastal. It don't make sense to be renting a house, when you don't own not anything. They did renovations, $60,000 worth of renovations on a rental. I'm really hoping that was a lie, but even if it's a lie, it's such a stupid one that I would hope that it's true. Because why would you do any renovations on a rental? But $60,000 worth? You changing floors in a rental that you can't even afford? As soon as you get fired from your job, essentially you gotta move. You ain't even had a year's worth of money to even upkeep the house. But you getting on here bragging about they don't know how businesses work and this and that. You should have learned how business work a little bit better so that this didn't happen to you. Because how are y'all renting 4-5 houses and don't own not nan one? Can't go live in not nan place if something happens with your current residents because they are all rentals. Living above their means, trying to keep up with this TV show. I feel like they was just living regular. They was just doing what needed to be done beforehand. Might be a little flashy, but got on this show and was like, nah, we need bigger. We need more. Because why did they need to move out the little penthouse that they had on the bay or whatever? On the, whatever it's called. It was right there on the water. Why did they need to move from there? Trying to keep up with the Joneses for this show. Now your butt, we living paycheck to paycheck and looking stupid. And then Mia with the whole Wendy smashed Peter lie. Oh, I saw the tapes. Oh, you're forgetting that there are cameras around. And You did all this, but then when it comes down to the reunion and the questions about it, oh, well, that's just what I heard. So if it's a lie, then okay. No, it's not okay. No, it shouldn't be okay that you can just flat out lie about somebody cheating on their spouse, sleeping with somebody for a business that they didn't even end up starting, and then just shrugging it off like, it happens. No. And Robin dumb self, even as dumb as she is, the chime in that she had, we don't get our rumors from the blogs. We get them from actual people that have seen them. We don't just make stuff up. And for the most part, she's right. If it's something that was said in the blogs, we don't know about it until somebody said it on the show. And then somebody said, oh yeah, I did see that in the blogs a few years ago, but that's the blogs. Ain't nobody paying attention to the blogs, girl. So, yeah, I can appreciate, the times that she say something that make a little bit of sense, A broke clock is still right twice a day, so I guess you got your one there, Robin. Even though you made absolutely no sense saying to Candace and Chris, I just feel like a married man should never be in a room with a single woman. Is that the loophole that Juan was able to escape with? Because y'all wasn't married yet? Even though you admitted that that's what held up the wedding and you still got married to him anyway? They just got married so she ain't got to testify. Right? That's the thing, right? Anyway, let's finish this on up because it ain't too much more to talk about. It was just the same old conversations. So good news, Candace got her embryos. Like I said, I figured when they finish shooting for the season and she can control the drama that's going to be in her life a bit more, she needs to go on back to the process because she wasn't going to be able to be to know peace while they was filming and they doing all this with Chris. So she got her some eggs or some embryos. I can't remember which one it is, but she gonna have her some babies at some point. She's got her security. Whether it's her that have them or she do a surrogate, Cam's gonna have some babies in the future. Okay. Oh, and while we own uteruses, everybody was so mad about Candace when she said to Giselle, your dwindling uterus was waiting for you all season. Your dwindling uterus was waiting to be talked about. And that's just so real because it was. While you doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down on these rumors about my husband, your dwindling uterus could have been talked about. It could have been a more full storyline. You know what I mean? We could have seen your daughters. You don't put that camera in their face when it comes to anything else you want. We could have seen your daughters having a real emotion and showing that they care about you. Yes, your dwindling uterus was waiting all those weeks to be talked about. Then they get to the whole colorism conversation, and it was exhausting because them having a conversation about colorism amongst themselves on camera, on reunion with a white man, you know, not necessarily centering the conversation, but being the one that brings this up, it was just pointless, I would say, because they cape for each other. That's one thing you can say about Real Housewives of Potomac. They'll dog each other, but when the public or somebody else tries to be like, but this is happening, they're going to defend it in front of the public and then go home and cry about it because it was true, i.e. colorism. And I would say it's not colorism in the exact sense of I'm gonna feed you crumbs while I give you steak, but like I said, the bar moves for certain people. When Mia and Ashley lie, a little shrug of the shoulder and a well, you know, it is what it is, makes everything better. Let Candace say something that they don't like, not even lie, say something that they don't like, shunning them for the rest of their days, okay? And even, we can take it back to Monique. Yeah, in the end, Monique gave people reason to not dislike her. But from the beginning, the way Giselle hazed her, like, yeah, Giselle hazes everybody, but the way she dug her heels into hazing Monique, oh, you don't have a home, and then it turns into, oh, I have 4 homes. Oh, I have 4 homes. That's not what she did. You just jealous that this woman that you feel like is beneath you has more than you, has everything that you claim you want and should have. I mean, is that not what the AKAs was founded upon? I'm just saying, they held on to this legacy of being light-skinned and judgmental as far as I can see. So Giselle fits the mold. It just is what it is. The colorism is there. The bar moves. The way that people attack marriages. And they tried to bring up, oh, well, Candace, you always say something about Juan Dixon or Michael Darby, 2 husbands who have had allegations on them who have turned out to be true. That's not the same thing as y'all just making something up because y'all don't like them. It's not the same thing. We're not going to act like it's the same thing. So past that, I think the only thing that really happened was Chris screaming at Giselle. And I can appreciate him using... I know Candace wasn't gonna say it, but we can talk about it since she said that Giselle's adjacentness to whiteness, helps her situations. When she cries wolf, people listen, people looking, people gonna pay attention, So Chris and his white privilege, he used that white privilege to yell at Giselle, and I can appreciate it. Because Giselle need to be yelled at. She need to be held accountable. Chris, I had to answer to my family, my kids. I've lost jobs because you want to play for TV. It's not okay. And we ain't going to act like it's okay. Tell her, Chris. Because she wrong. And she needs to be told that she wrong. Other than that, on the reunion, what else happened? With the rest of the husbands, we talked about Karen and Ray. We know what it is. They're not going to say it because, the structure of their sanctity of marriage. They would never put that out there. But we know what it is. Mia and Gordon, they talked about her health scare. And then apparently Gordon had prostate cancer. And Mia be treating Gordon like a little. Because the way she just kind of skated around that situation when she was like, well, when Jacqueline said to me that I need to get more D, I knew that she was taking a shot at my husband because he had prostate cancer and, can't really get it up like he used to. That was unnecessary information. Why would you volunteer that to embarrass your husband like that? Why? Why would you even open the gate for somebody to be like, well, Mia said she wasn't getting it from Gordon like that, so she... And since we on Mia and Jacqueline, they put Jacqueline on the stage for a sprinkle of time. And Jacqueline said, I'm still in my house. You not in yours. That was funny because it was true. What else happened on there? They brought Cherise out, but just like she been all season, boring, I can't even remember what she said. I just remember that high ponytail up on her head and that split. She didn't look bad, but it was just like, okay. All right. She definitely didn't look the worst. Definitely not. Yeah, I think that's it, y'all. Hope y'all enjoy the review. Like I said, I think, because they already said Married to Medicine is coming back now. That is my favorite. It used to be Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine, but Real Housewives of Potomac it's just been dwindling. This one, it was just like a big jump. It was just real bad. Married to Medicine, it's kind of been dwindling too, but not this bad. Not this bad. So I probably will be reviewing that when it comes on. Definitely will be releasing Hood Health Report, the show, on the regular. It'll be in seasons, 8 to 10 episodes at a time with a few weeks break in between, and we'll be right back, season per quarter. Same thing with Manifest. It took a deep dive. When Manifest did the whole Angelina storyline and all of that, I truly, in the depths of my soul, lost interest when they grew Kyle up and when they brought on Angelina. So I don't know if I'll finish those reviews either. I really don't. But I'll find something to review that holds my attention. And we'll see how it goes. I saw that there's supposed to be a documentary on the flight that went missing and all of that. So we can see like the actual flight that went missing, not the, Manifest one, but like an actual documentary, not a scripted series. So I do be a little interested in that. There's a few little black sci-fi movies I know Netflix coming with that I know I want to review. Might have a few friends, log on and review it with me. So stay tuned, y'all. But I will get back to consistently posting content. So tell a friend, like the video, comment, subscribe, post it, share it, all that good stuff. Alrighty. So thanks and bye-bye.